Hey, Riley with Chronicles of Liberty. Just coming back to the topic of a militia, and wanted to read a few things, talk about a few things from this book by Edwin Vieira Jr. called Constitutional Homeland Security. This is the volume 1, The Nation in Arms. And he brings up some really good points. This guy's got 4 degrees from Harvard, blah, blah, blah. But phenomenal when it comes to the Constitution, especially in the topic of the Second Amendment and the militia. So I wanted to just briefly talk about a few things that I wrote down to start this conversation further about the militia. We're hearing a lot about it right now coming out of North Carolina, and I think that's brilliant. Here's some things that I think we need to understand. America is a government of the people. It is we the people, not elected officials, bureaucrats, political parties, or special interest groups. It is the government of the people. It is a government for the people, created in order to form a more perfect union, as the preamble states, to establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, right? The challenge facing all Americans right now today is either to stand up and enforce our Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, or to sit idly by in ignorance and apathy and watch our country be destroyed as the Constitution is systematically eviscerated. So he's delving into some really hard topics. We, the people now living, are just as responsible for the constitutions today as were our forefathers in 1788, 1776, 1765, 1758. All of these time periods, as we're starting to build and get the ratification of the Declaration of Independence in 1788, we need to make sure that we are as responsible to this Constitution as were our forefathers. And if anything is to be done, Americans have to do it. We cannot count on anyone else to do it for us. We, the people, must take upon ourselves the actual execution of our Constitution. This is the very embodiment of empowering the militia to execute the laws of the Union. We, the people, are in fact the militia, and we are by right and responsibility called forth to perform the mission the Constitution requires of us. Now, how many of us recognize that this is actually not only an opportunity, a right, but a responsibility? Our Republican form of government will only exist when we, the people, actually affirmatively and authoritatively rule our own country so that we can enjoy our life, liberty, and properties, as well as the pursuit of happiness. Our homeland security, or our absolute right to self-defense, is guaranteed in our Second Amendment. Both the right to defend ourselves by forming the militia and the right to keep and bear arms are executed in that Second Amendment. These rights shall not be infringed. These are not to be taken lightly. They are responsibilities we as Americans are born to carry. Now, when we talk about this, we're getting a lot of blowback by a lot of politicians that are afraid of the word militia. We're getting a lot of blowback by the federal government afraid of the word militia. And but honestly, like I said 2 videos ago, of my ancestors that I know the records of, 23 of my great-grandfathers, they were the 4th, 5th, and 6th generations back, fought for the Revolutionary War. Only 2 of them fought in the regulars. Everybody else was a part of the militia. And I mentioned the other one. This is an important part of it. In Albany, New York, the county of Albany, New York, my great-great-great-grandfather, Jeremiah Reynolds, was of the 14th Regiment out of 17 regiments in that county, all militia, right? So we need to make sure that we're recognizing authoritatively our responsibility to ensure, to build, to fulfill our responsibility in Homeland Security. Because quite frankly, everybody should recognize that the federal government is not doing their job. They have 2 jobs, and the one they're failing at miserably, which is to protect our borders. And I'm not calling on a revolution. I'm not calling on everybody to go down to the border, start shooting illegal immigrants. What I'm saying, people, is you need to start fortifying your communities. You need to start building and regulating yourselves. You need to start training. You need to start being ready for of these 30 plus million illegal immigrants that have come across in the last 4 years. We know how many of them are bad hombres, from cartels to terrorists to whatever form, military, Chinese military. And it's going to be on our shoulders to bear the burden of protecting ourselves. And this is, to me, this book, the Constitution permits and allows and requires of us to form a militia, to make sure that we are well regulated, trained, have our own weapons, and know how to use them. They have to be in proper working order. And ladies and gentlemen, fellow patriots, Americans, let's get at it. Let's start building this ahead of the calamities that are coming. And may God bless us all, because this is going to be a very tumultuous time coming at us. And it's going to require a well-regulated militia found throughout the country to protect and preserve our rights and our liberties. Diyos may tabor.